Welcome, Mr. Adebayo Lumiwa. Welcome, sir. I'm so pleased to have you here, sir. I'm so pleased to have my honorable speakers here today. I'm so glad to have you all here. And once again, I'm Med Suluka by name, and I will be the host for today's session. So to the honorable participants, I would be glad if you can drop it on chat box. You can hear me and you can see my screen that has been presented to you. So kindly let me know if you can hear me and you can see my screen. So just put it on chat box. You don't need to unmute your mic. Put it on chat box and kindly let me know if you can see my screen and you can hear me. I believe you all can't wait for the loads of values that this program promises to offer you today. So this webinar shall be abiding by the following instructions. All participants are expected to mute their microphones. And also, we have questions at any point in time. Feel free to drop it on the chat box. Yeah, so drop it on chat box, and I look forward to responding to you. So, and also, make sure you don't get carried away, because here you will be getting loads of values that would help you in your professional journey. So ensure you shun all distractions. And if you have your friend, any of your friends that are not here, if you have any of them, that they are not here yet, call on them. Here's it now. We shall just be going through this following order of programs. I'll be introducing our speakers. We'll talk about our programs at ICSAN Academy, and basically, we'll have a Q&A session. Right. So now let's get started. So the introduction speech by me, the host. So basically, this is our webinar. It's a tradition of ICSAN Academy. We do webinars. We bring industry leaders, bring vibrant chartered accountants, to speak with the upcoming chartered accountants and upcoming young professionals. Let's get started. So let me introduce the first speaker. So Mr. Muyiwa Adebayo. I hope you can see the loads of certifications, right? Mr. Adebayo is a legend, actually, is a legend. So let me just introduce him. I told you earlier that Mr. Muyiwa is a legend, yeah, and he's actually a legend. So basically, you can connect it with him via LinkedIn. I dropped his profile link on the chat box. Yeah, so he's a very resourceful mentor. And if you are looking forward to becoming an industry leader later in the future, then I think you need to connect with Mr. Muyiwa Adebayo, because he has got all it takes, for you to achieve your goal. Yeah, so, and basically, let's not forget, Mr. Muyiwa is a philanthropist. Yes, he has contributed to my own personal life positively. Do you get? Yeah, so a few of them, there was one program like that, that I was part of the beneficiaries of his scholarships, and all that. And lest I forget, he's my teacher. He taught me during my ICAN program. So, Mr. Muyiwa, welcome. I'm so glad to have you, sir. So I hope you all are also excited to have him. So do well to welcome him on the chat box. Yeah, I need to see you guys' vibrancy here. So welcome him. I look forward to seeing your comments on the chat box. So welcome, Mr. Muyiwa. I'm so glad to have you, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to more or less appreciate it. And the few minutes I have with you, I'm going to make one or two contributions, which I believe will positively impact young professionals and those that also may be willing to become professional accountants as time goes on. Thank you very much.
I just want to ask a question that will also benefit our audience, sir. And the question now is, how has the professional certification positively impacted your career, and how has it opened doors for you, sir?
Okay, thank you very much. To be brief, I'm going to more or less put it in three pillars. Okay, I think the first pillar would be that it has enhanced my knowledge and skills. Okay, and for those that are familiar with me, and for people that have come across me, most especially in the four walls of classroom, whether online or physically, I always encourage that more or less you seek understanding, you seek a principle, so that you can be able to apply it in practice. You seek knowledge rather than the days where we focus much more on examination or focus much more on just passing the exams or just cramming and all sorts of things, which means once you have understanding of principles and you are able to relate it with what is in practice, given the guidance that you have come across, whether through your tutors or through online learnings and some other continuous learning platforms, you should be able to more or less progress a lot in life. And therefore, the first thing I'll anchor on is enhance my knowledge and skills. Okay, the second thing I'm going to anchor it on is that it has allowed me to advance in my career. Okay, the beauty of it is that the qualification plus the skills I've more or less achieved over time have more or less made me to go faster than necessary. Okay, I've been able to apply it in the course of what I do, and that has made positive contribution in terms of value to what I do, which is being recognized. And that leads me to the third aspect of credibility and recognition. Okay, because I always tell people that in today's world, everything is saturated. Therefore, you must be able to go extra mile in whatever you do in order for you to gain recognition. Okay, which means you can't do what every other person is doing and you believe you can more or less go ahead of those people. What that means that what you need to do is that you take a step ahead, if not two steps ahead at every point in time. And that's through the various exposures to institutes like from my ICAN days to ACCA days to CIMA days to CFA days to GAP days and the like. And also based on my quest for continuous learning outside certification, all of those things have now contributed to what I am doing today, which I still do not relent. It's still a starting point for me. I continue to seek learning, especially in the age of technology, AI, which is more or less revolutionizing all what we believe we know before. Now, productivity matters, efficiency matters, how you advance technology matters, which means that is a new chapter to me again to more or less foster in what I'm doing. Which means that in summary, I would just simply say it enhances my knowledge and skill as a result of my exposure to various certifications. It enhances my career in terms of advancement and growth, and also it has given me some level of recognition and credibility in what I do. But probably later on in our discussion, you also understand that mere having the certification or exposed to the certification is not enough. What then means that you also personally developing yourself by more or less putting what knowledge you have acquired to use, to practice, and also thinking out of the box will also be what is going to give you more value than just the mere certifications. Thank you very much.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Thank you very much, Mr. Olumuyiwa Adebayo. I really appreciate those powerful insights you give us. So one major thing I picked out from is that merely having those certifications is not enough. So that is maybe those of you that just want to do pass ICAN and you now buga that yes I'm a chartered accountant. I mean that's not enough. You need to be knowledgeable. You need to be able to speak the various things you've learned during the course of preparing for the exams, or acquiring the certifications. Yeah, so that's very, very vital. Thank you very much, Mr. Muyiwa. I wouldn't want to take much of your time more than this. And please, if you have questions, please just put it on chat box quickly so that I can direct them to him, because he actually have an engagement immediately after this call. All right, so put it on chat box. I'll be glad to direct those questions to him, and kindly do so within 1 minute, please.
Actually, I have a question. I know that apart from ICAN, we have other professional institutes like that. My question is there any way we can apply for scholarship on any of these, to acquire any of these professional things like that?
Thank you. To a high degree, most of those professional institutes, they have scholarship scheme in one way or the other. Okay, even though they might vary from one another. I can speak to, for example, CFA has scholarship if you can be able to prove that based on your academic record, you've been able to demonstrate that you are a high flyer. That's one. And second, they give scholarship on the basis of the fact that you more or less have no financial privilege like others, especially for those that are coming from developing countries like Nigeria. And I've experienced it with some of my mentees who over time have gotten such scholarship, especially for CFA, for level 1 program, which more or less saved them thousands of dollars, at least over $1,000 or the like, you understand? Okay? But again, it is for you to first of all show that, okay, if you have interest in what you want to do, does it align with your career objective which has been set and predetermined and all sort of things. Later we can come to scholarship. And that speaks to the fact that, okay, what I've seen in the past, in the last 5 to few years, is that it has now become a tradition that once people qualify, I can, the next thing you say, I want to do ACC, I want to do CFA. When I finish CFA, I want to do this. When I finish it, I want to do this. I think sometimes we make a lot of mistakes, okay? Because sometimes you don't know what you want, you don't even know your career path, you are just trying to do and garner all of these certifications, probably because you see others having it. But you might not understand that there is one career objective that has been set by others, which is totally different from yours. Do you understand? Which more or less made them to have all of those things. For example, from day one, I've set my career objective to be more or less like a vibrant professional within the finance industry. Okay, when we talked about state of investment, areas of risk management, areas of accounting transitions, and the like. Okay, because of that, I want to be more or less an average knowledge of all of these things that I need to at least have more than average knowledge in all of those areas that are interwoven within the finance. And then you find me being within the financial field, you find me an financial field in participation in the corporate finance, structure finance, project finance, and the like. And that is what more or less trigger my enrollment for all of this certification. You understand? But somebody that doesn't understand my set objectives will also say, okay, I want to, this my net from afar. I want to be like this guy. For you are doing the same thing the guy is doing. But unfortunately, it's not a set objective that is well thought through. Which means that we must also consider that. We can speak to the, even where they have made scholarship in a particular, it's not enough incentive to jump into such certification if it does not align. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I try to encourage people to do, based on what your friends or what others are doing. Okay, the first thing that anywhere you must ensure that you have interest, so that you will be successful to make impact because it's your heart desire. Not to go into or because it's what is involved. That is what everybody is going to. Do that. At the end of the day, I have the certificate, and it's all worth it of what can add value. Okay, because today we have some chartered accountants that they can't contribute value, and that's why some of them are not gainfully are highly underemployed. And that's just my view. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mira. I sincerely appreciate those valuable tips. I think I had a network issue earlier. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Sorry.
Yeah. So thank you very much, sir. I've taken a lot of your time already. I picked a lot of things from there, and I look forward to implementing them, especially that knowledge part. I look forward to implementing them. Thank you very much, and thoughts.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed, and thank you, the participants. Sorry, I won't be available to the end. Okay, God bless you guys. Bye.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. All right, so that's a great one, and I believe we all picked a lot of points there. So let me see if we picked. We picked one or two from those valuable insights. So just put on chat box the vital things you learned, as regards the tips you give us. Those major things you learned. Just put it on chat box. Let me see this valuable point. So while waiting, about the question earlier by Mugbe, she said that there's scholarships available. Definitely there are, and Mr. Amara he talked about the CFA scholarship. Currently, the exam fee for level 1 is about $1,300, but with the skip would pay $300, right? So, and ICAN too, they have scholarships too. ACC to have their own scholarships. Do you get that? Yeah. So I'll be dropping a number on the chat box, so you can reach out for more information and for guidance about the scholarship, about those scholarships, and how you can benefit from them. So, all right. While waiting for you guys to drop those vital things you learned, let me introduce the second speaker. That's my honorable friend and senior colleague. Yeah, let me put it that way. So, it's Mr. Peter Justin. Personally, let me just be honest. If I'm to classify or if I'm to describe Peter in one word, I would say genius. Peter's professional journey here, the rate at which Peter blasts exams, it's just so crazy, man. So, but let me introduce Peter. So basically, Peter is a finance professional, a chartered accountant. So Peter is a finance professional, a chartered accountant, and a first-class graduate. So, and not only a first-class graduate, he's the only first-class graduate from the accounting department of his university. Yeah, I think I remember that. So, and yes, he has diverse work experience ranging from the financial advisory, investment research, consulting, and also Peter has passed all the 3 levels of CFA programs. You need to research about CFA programs, and you should not know what it takes for someone to pass the 3 levels of the CFA programs at one sitting. No emphasis on one sitting. And not only that, Peter had consistent 90th percentile in CFA level 1 and 2. I mean, that's massive. That's massive. That's a great work, Peter. So basically, Peter is a disciplined and young achiever in the field of finance, and also is passionate about adding value and solving problems. The corporate world, Peter enjoys public speaking, volunteering, mentoring young people. Yeah, so in case you also want to be a young achiever, yeah, Peter is a go-to meet person. Someone that I can gladly recommend, that he would put you through how you can achieve your goals, how you can smash those goals. So I have a profile with you guys on chat box. So do well to connect with Peter, and I believe he would guide you guys better. Will give you they will share those vital tips, those codes that are used to blast those exams. I know you would share it with us here. So I just dropped his profile link, so do how to connect with him. And welcome, Peter. I'm so glad to have you here. So I know the audience too, they are excited to have you here too. So the participant here. So please welcome Peter on the chat box. Yeah, and I know you can't wait to get those valuable insights that he has for us. So welcome, Peter. You have the floor.
Thank you, Ahmed. Good evening or good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to meet you all here. Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome. So basically, right, I have just one question for you, and I know it will also benefit the audience. And the question now is this: can you tell us the specific challenges that you overcame during the exam preparation, and how those experience has now made you a better person, has contributed greatly to your professional development?
Okay, so just like Ahmed mentioned, right, I got my career at 18, so I was very, very young when I started ICAN exams. I started at age 16 with 8 years exams. Yeah, I did 8 years first as an undergrad, and then later did ICAN immediately after 8 years. So all of this was during undergrad program. So between the ages of 16 to 18, and that's like 5 years ago when I finished my ICAN exams. Challenges. So majorly, right, given the fact that I was doing BSc in accounting alongside ICAN, it was taxing. My schedule then at the time, I'll probably wake up 5 a.m. right to prepare for school, and then lectures. That was daily lectures for school started 7 a.m. So my school between 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. for classes, either in class or in the library, and then by 4 p.m. I have to start leaving the school to go for my ICAN tuition. I took my tuition physically, so there was a physical tuition center, so I had to leave school 4 p.m. and then start into class. Class was 5, so I'll be at class 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So typically 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. every blessed day from Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday I'm having classes, ICAN classes between like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every week. So it was very, very crazy, juggling between school and then ICAN exams. But I knew what I wanted. I knew the goal I wanted to achieve. I wanted to become a chartered accountant before I finished school. And I also wanted to become a chartered accountant very early in life, just have that achievement that I got this very early, right? So doing this to, reading for school, reading for ICAN exams, trying to make sure I'm doing very well at both ends was, of course, very, very challenging, right? But I think the good thing was that ICAN, being an accounting professional, really helped me in school. So then I tended to focus more on ICAN than school, because whatsoever they teach me in ICAN, of course, it's a professional qualification. So the knowledge there is going to exceedingly help me in school. So I didn't really have to bother a lot about school like that, given that they were a shadow of each other. But bringing it down to specifics, my major challenge during my ICAN exams was in skills level, and specifically portfolio, what they call it now, performance management, PM. Yeah, Ahmed, please confirm you can still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. So throughout ATS1, I don't even know, I'm sure a lot of us know ATS. It's throughout ATS1, ATS2, ATS3. I didn't really have specific challenges like that because the subjects were kind of straightforward. I don't want prizes. I want a prize in ATS1. I want a prize in ATS3. So I didn't really find it kind of challenging. But when I got to skills level, was an entirely different ballgame with specific mention of performance management. When I started PM classes, right, from the very first day to the second class to the third class, I was always shaking, man. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is this where my feeling I can start, because that subject PM was, I didn't really understand what I was learning in class. I didn't really understand the calculations. I didn't really understand, the rationale behind doing a lot of things we were doing in class. So it was just very abstract. I loved FR. I loved NG, what people call CSME today. What else? What else did we do? Public sector accounting. Those ones were not really a problem for me. But PM specifically was crazy, right? But then since I was able to identify that challenge, okay, this is a crazy exam, this is a crazy subject, I don't want to fail it, I want to, make sure I pass everything at once. So I now decided from the very beginning, to pay a lot of attention to it, even though I did not neglect other subjects, but I paid more attention to performance management. I read, paid more attention in class, read my books, read textbooks, solved so many questions, just make sure that, okay, this subject I know very well before the exams. And then to my greatest surprise, after writing the exam was really easy, to be honest, because I did a lot of preparation side of the exams. And then I think I scored, was it 81 or 80 or there, but it was 80 something in that PM. That was, my great big challenge. And then professional level, I think, well, SFM to some extent was also kind of challenging, but given my PM experience, okay, I knew how to tackle it. So I think those were just my major challenges, during ICAN exam, shuffling between school and ICAN, and then, those specific subjects. But generally, going to your second question, ICAN has really helped me. So when I finished school, I got into KPMG. For accounting students or even chartered accountant generally, working in the big four firm is usually a dream. It was a dream for me when I was in school. It's usually a dream because they're the biggest accounting firms in the world. So it's, you get to practice, what you've been learning in school and in ICAN, and get to work with brilliant people and work on top-notch transactions. So my dream when I was in school, even when I was doing ICAN, was to get into the big four. And without my ICAN, I wouldn't have gotten into KPMG, because for the unit I worked in, in KPMG, that's deal advisory, I can also the requirements. Now I can work in that unit. If you're good to get in without ICAN, but I wanted to do deal advisory, I wanted to, work on transactions, do valuation, do financial modeling and stuff like that. And ICAN was a requirement. And I was very happy I'd done, my ICAN already before finishing school. So immediately I finished school, even before NYC, I went to KPMG, and without ICAN, I've gotten it. So generally, ICAN helped me to get into my dream company, being KPMG, and during the course of, my employment at KPMG, the knowledge has helped me, in my work, the way I think, and everything. So yeah, I think so far and then even when I was doing CFA, the ICAN knowledge helped me, understanding things well, or doing my CFA program exams. And yeah, so far I think, the qualifications really helped me. I never regret doing ICAN. If I'm to go back in life, I'll still, want to do ICAN over and over again. Yeah.
All right, that's a fantastic one. That's a fantastic one. Thank you very much for that insight. And basically, yeah, I got that power you mentioned, PM being a challenge. And well, definitely, we should do a poll, right, of ICAN students and members. Majority will say that PM is a nightmare, actually. But guess what? Then I wasn't working. I need to be honest. I wasn't working. I was home 247. So guess what? I didn't use PM then, textbook. I will solve. I will use, what are they calling it? ACCA materials. I will solve. So guess what? It's all about preparation, right? But majorly that course on its own, it requires some special level of understanding and technicalities. Do you get that? So to some of you guys that that will be writing this paper, these are the things that you should watch out for. You need to prepare. There's this joke that I made recently on my status. I was like, You want to be a chartered accountant and you don't want to study. How do you want to do it? Do you get? So that's the case of majority of ICAN students out there. They don't want to study. No, there's no way. ICAN is passing ICAN is not magic. It's not magic. You can't perform magic on it. You have to study. So thank you very much for our possible insight. And I know the audience would have some questions that they would like to ask you. So you can unmute your mic, guys. You can ask your questions. You can also drop it on the chat box. So I look forward to those questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. My name is Kayode. Thank you very much, the speaker, Mr. Peter. I really appreciate your insights. Quick one. My question is there any requirements apart from getting ICAN and for someone to work or to serve in KPMG or one of the big fours? Is there any other things to do or things to acquire apart from getting ICAN? So that's my question. You can actually just brief us on this. Thank you.
Okay, so to even start with, ICAN is not even a requirement to get into the Big Four, right? Just that, so there are many units in the Big Four firm, and then all these units are majorly divided into 3 divisions. So there is audit, there is tax, and there's advisory. So you want to become an auditor and want to work in the Big Four. ICAN is not a requirement to get in, but you have to do ICAN later on if you don't have ICAN when you're entering. But to enter, as entry level, you don't necessarily need ICAN or whatsoever to get in. When you get into the firm will sponsor your ICAN. They'll pay for your tuition, pay for your exams fee, and then you now write the ICAN exams and become chartered. So it's not a requirement to get in. That's want to do audits or even tax. But I wasn't in audit, I'm not in tax, I'm in deal advisory, which is under the advisory division. So for my unit specifically, right, because of the technicality of what we do, it's required to have ICAN, right, before getting in. The major reason is because they don't want you to enter and then you now be distracted with the work to go and start waiting for ICAN. With that, you'll be struggling with the work. And then also, like I said, technicality of what we do, so we need it to have ICAN first, to have a very solid background before you can come in to start the work. But if you don't want to do the advisory, you want to probably do audit, you want to probably do tax, you don't even need ICAN, you just have to apply, right? You need a minimum of a 2-1 in your undergrad, and even your undergrad, it can be from any course. You can even do animal science, you can do law, any course at all, just a minimum of 2-1. That's either a 2-1 in the first class, right? And then you apply for it as you want to do entry level, that's level training, right, and go through the recruitment process, and get in. There is no other requirements like that, right? So I think that's just it. And then just mention this. So deal advisory in KPMG specifically, you want to do the advisory in other Big Four firms, meaning like PwC, EY, or Deloitte. I don't think they require ICAN. It's just KPMG that requires ICAN for deal advisory, but for other units, you don't need to get ICAN. But when you get into the firm, you eventually need to do ICAN to get promoted. Hope I was able to answer your question.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, that's a fantastic response. Thank you very much, Peter, for that insightful answer. So, others, do you have questions before we move to the third speaker? So feel free to ask your questions, please. All right, Peter, you have a comment. Modiba mentioned that she's stirred by your profile and accomplishments. Well done, sir. Yeah, it's a great one.
Thank you very much.
You need to connect with Peter, honestly. Yeah. So you need to connect with Peter. Peter is a great man. Yeah, a great man. And in my own words, Peter is a genius. I need to put it that way. Like no dilution. Yeah. All right. That's a great one. So in case you have questions, you can drop them on the chat box. So because of time, we'll be moving to the third speaker. All right, let's proceed. So the third speaker, the version of Mr. Oriyomi Afolabi. Yeah, so let me introduce him. So Oriyomi Afolabi is an experienced research and investment analyst with over 3 years of experience in the investment and financial services industry. Yeah, so Mr. Oriyomi Afolabi graduated with a first class and as the best graduating student from the actuarial science department at the University of Lagos. I mean, you know what it takes. You know, actuarial science is should I say it's one course that, you know, it's technically harder than accounting. Yeah, I need to put it that way. So had someone having a first class, and not even a first class, yeah, but the best graduating student of his department, that's a whole lot too. All right. So he's also an associate member of ICAN. He has a postgraduate degree from NUTA, and also is currently an MBA student at Quantic School of Business and Technology. So Afolabi is a transformational leader, and basically he uses his position, you know, typically every position here, you know, used to impact the life of others. So currently, Afolabi is a country relations and infrastructural finance professional at African Finance Corporation. So African Finance Corporation is a segment of World Bank. Yeah, so you need to be aware. And currently is the head of research at the Young Professionals and Emerging Leaders. So yeah, so a round of applause, and I look forward to you welcoming Mr. Oriyomi Afolabi. So Afolabi, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. So Afolabi is my honorable colleague. You know, he inspires me a lot. He inspires me a lot. And yeah, Afolabi is you know, he's a great person. A great person, and you only the kind of zeal that Afolabi has. You know, Afolabi is someone that is, you know, is I like we've spent, you know, a lot of time personally, and I can tell you a bit about Afolabi. Afolabi is always seeking for you know, development, you know, professionally, professional wise, academically, you know, and the likes, you know. So welcome, Afolabi. I'm so glad to have you. Welcome. You have the floor, please.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and thank you everyone. My apologies for joining in late. I had personal thing that came up. That's a personal story, official rather, that came up, which actually took my time. My apologies once again. I mean, what's the approach, Camilo? Hello, I mean, can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I will just ask you a question that would be beneficial to the audience, and I look forward to you doing justice to so the question is that how has networking contributed positively to your career growth? And I would also be glad if you can give us tips to networking.
Okay.
And before you answer that question, I also need to let you all know that I and Afolabi also network training with us. You know, so it's just you have the floor, please. You have the floor.
Okay. So as to networking, I would say generally, networking is something you can't do without. It's something that is very essential in the professional world. It's not something, I mean, it's very essential basically. And just to bring it home, it's probably my own story. I would say my first job at Western Advisory Limited, which happens to be a boutique investment banking firm, was through networking opportunity. Basically, there was a person I just reached out to on the call is a finance professional platform, and it basically sent my CV to the firm, and I was able to get the opportunity. I was called for an interview, and I was able to get the opportunity at Boston, and they influenced everything, which I eventually served there. And besides, like recently, I would say during my NTM program. NTM is an interdisciplinary program. And I mean, it's an interdisciplinary postgraduate degree program. It's quite unique in its own. I mean, we usually have what we call these. We usually have what we call these. We call it like a session. I mean, session for. I'm trying to even recall the name, where we invite guest speakers, like they are actually top people. We've had people from World Bank, we've had Stanbic CEO, like amongst many other people, basically. So what I did then, I mean, we had a lot of couple of people from different industries, precisely. So what I just did there was just like, okay, for me, I'm much more interested in the investment finance space. So basically, people that came in those areas are people I have what we call a strong tie form of network. Like we have what we call strong tie, we have what we call the weak tie. So for the strong tie, what you do is that beyond, I mean, you can know a lot of people, like probably you have a session, like you are opportune to meet various, probably 1,000 people in a session, like you're able to talk to people amongst many, you can talk to many people, but you can't really build that level of relationship with everyone. People you have strong ties with when it comes to networking, I mean, they will be few. Strong ties in the sense that probably you guys reach out, they understand you better when it comes to, I mean, they understand your professional life better, they understand your career trajectory better, people you can be vulnerable to. So those are the people when you're talking about your strong ties. So you have to be able to understand that when it comes to even networking itself, you have a couple of people, you must be able to understand strong ties and the weak ties guys. So the strong tie guys, you try as much as possible to leverage, try to understand them, be vulnerable to them. Like they could serve as your mentor, they could serve as your sponsor. Like sponsors are those that can speak for you. I mean, that's basically for the strong tie. So basically, you have to be able to understand generally that when it comes to networking, you could have what we call the strong ties, you could have the weak ties. So the strong ties more often are those that weak ties you can also up. Like people probably decide, they call them probably acquaintances amongst many other. But your strong ties are key people that probably that are in line with your career trajectory in all aspects. It could be spiritual aspects, it could be probably the career aspect. But in all, networking is something that you can't really do without. It's something that is very essential, very pivotal. Even my current role, though I won't say it was more of application. I applied, but I mean, through my strong ties, I was able to get someone at the Stanbic man through during team. Like I was able to get someone like a top man in Stanbic, who happens to be the head of the internal audit of Stanbic Holdings, and that was through leveraging on the strong tie networking aspect of it. So I think that's what I would say for now.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Afolabi Oriyomi, for that valuable insight. There's one major thing I picked from what he said. He said, just through a group or a platform, you got, the job at Boston, right? So basically, right, and I mean, you just shared your CV and the person recommended you and you got job. So yeah, that's one major thing I want to say about that is that you see that way of getting a job, yeah, it's one of the most uncommon way, and people get job through that faster than the normal official way of apply, send CV, do interviews. and all that. Basically, right? You know how that would get you the job faster and easier, right? Because here's it now. The person that would recommend you already trusted you and believes that yeah, you are competent, you can handle this position. You get that? You imagine a job vacancy where they only need like 5 people and like 100 people have applied. What do you think is the fate of the remaining 95 people? You get, how would you stand out? So that is where networking comes in. So networking is very, very important, and I'm glad Afolabi is able to do justice to that. So I believe our audience and participants would have so many questions as regards networking.
Yeah, my name is Abayomi. I want to ask about issue of career, advancing in your career with professional certificate. Now, someone that is actually, he wants to major in reporting. That's what he wants to focus on. So, he wants to major in reporting and then acquire the professional certificate. This particular, however, this particular person is currently working, being a receivable officer, but that is not what you wanted. You just want higher role, majorly in reporting. What advice can you give such a person? Even though the person have already acquired the professional certificate like ICAN, but you still want to advance yourself the more. You still want to advance yourself the more. You still want to grow better, but you want to major in reporting like a financial reporting accountant and anything that entails reporting. So in that regard, what advice can you give such a person? Thank you.
So okay, if I get your question well, you said you have professional qualification, you want to major in reporting. So are you saying what skill sets and probably advice would such person probably embark on to be able to like be successful in that space? Is that your question? If I got you, I'm just trying to repeat.
Exactly.
Okay, so basically, what you have to understand, the ICAN professional certification is, just like other professional qualifications generally, like it gives you that, most especially ICAN, let me just be frank, because in ICAN, you could decide to specialize in in finance, like going to the finance space, which I find myself, or in finance, investment. You could decide to go into tax. And if it's for reporting, I believe by reporting, probably you're talking about the financial corporate reporting aspect of it. So, it's something that you are also looking for. It's something is still within the purview of ICAN. So once you just have to understand best, from my own point of view, is that the first thing first, you have to have your clarity of goal, in the sense that what do you really want to be? So I think that if you have your clarity of goal, for you now, you are saying you are really interested in probably becoming a specialist in reporting. So once you already have your clarity of goals, okay, this is really what I want to be. You go through ICAN, yes, you would have gotten relevant skill sets from ICAN, obviously. What other skill sets, just like you mentioned, that you want to build that level of competence in that space. So then there are other things also we could do. But I think, everything beyond the ICAN, work experience goes a long way, because there are a lot of things as professional examination put you through. Definitely would have learned from them, but beyond that, it still falls back to application. Application is very key, and that cannot be overemphasized. ICAN within the space of 1 year, 2 years would have learned a whole lot, like all the standards, but ability to retain most of the information you will get from various examinations you'll be taking, irrespective of, okay, you did ICAN, you forge ahead to ACCA, you forge ahead to, all these stuff are actually in sync when it comes to this reporting of the thing. Other professional exams would be ACCA, I know of deeper FRS, for instance, like knowing the standards regarding corporate reporting. Yeah, I'm very, very specific to corporate reporting, because reporting can be broad. corporate and financial reporting basically. So probably GPIFI, these are key things that you can do. But in all, what you just need to do is to understand your goal. Since your goal is to specialize in reporting, then keep developing yourself professional space. What are the exams that are in sync with those things and which I've mentioned? And work-wise, then you have to have gained that relevant experience in that space. And I believe B4s are actually your best bet when it comes to areas when it comes to reporting. Doing things relating to audits is something that is very in sync with it. I know of capital advisory, capital markets advisory. These space are things that deals with reporting, and you have a very good ground knowledge with respect to this space. So I believe work experience cannot be emphasized, because most of what you do in work experience is that you keep applying these things. The more you apply, that is when you become a better grounded professional. It's not just about sitting exams. Sitting exams will give you very broad knowledge, and it is the things you use that you apply that you become specialist in or specialist at. I think that's just the best approach I can take that person for now. Thank you. I hope that answers that.
Thank you very, very much.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it actually does. But you actually emphasize on work experience, relevant work experience that actually falls in line with the specific goals I just mentioned. But however, I would like to ask that this issue of work experience is what I'm actually having headache on, because I need to know how do I go about it so that I can actually find myself in that particular space. Currently, I'm in the FMCG, but as a receivable officer, but I want to venture into major reporting. Which of those industries will give me more exposure in this line? Thank you.
Okay, that's a nice question. Working as a receivable officer, I believe, there are some bits of accounting there also anyways. But, just try as much as possible to always look for opportunities in that space. Since you are, much more interested in reporting becoming a reporting specialist, then for me, I'm just saying the big four is definitely, I would say Big Four generally, and and not just Big Four. It's role inclined for reporting. I know, obviously, as I mentioned, something capital advisory, it's a good when you talk about work experience. Then it's just for you to always seek out. Then I think leveraging your network as to reaching out to people, you apply to open opportunities that are available. Leveraging them, you can reach out basically on LinkedIn, people that you actually message. We're aiming at one of the Big Fours. Look at people in that space that you are really interested in. Audit also is also a very good thing that actually help in reporting itself. There are some, but that will be more related to audit inclined. There are some part of it you have to understand the standard. You have to understand standard in depthly when it comes to even audit itself. But in all, just try to reach out, leveraging your network, applying to open opportunities that are in that space. You also have to work on yourself, also believing in yourself, believing and also trusting God. With all this, I believe, it's something you can always get. It's something you can always get. Opportunities are always available. What people just need is having the requisite skill set. It is that relevant, the requisite skill set that's actually, that people can be able to reach out to you and say, okay, yes, you can, we are ready to actually hire you as far as this particular role is concerned. It's more relevant skill set. Build on yourself also. While you are searching, build on yourself and believe in yourself and also apply. I also believe in God. I believe with that you can always get any opportunity you need.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you very much for Labi Orijomi. I sincerely appreciate the insightful responses, and also in addition to the response that Falabi gave, you know, if you want to specialize in financial reporting, right? You know, you need to have a full grasp of the IFRS, and basically, um, I would advise, you know, I would advise you can sit for the diploma in IFRS exam from ACCA. It will really enlighten you and broaden your IFRS knowledge. Yeah, so I will be dropping exact academic contacts in the chat box. You can you know, you can reach out to us for more guidance. And also I shared Afolabi's LinkedIn profile link on the chat box. So do how to connect with him. It will surely guide you better, you know, on how you can also, you know, be a young achiever. All right. So thank you very much. Join me to appreciate our speakers as you know, they have given us valuable insight on how we can also advance our careers, you know, with professional certifications and you know, just in summary, you know, it's not limited to just acquiring the certifications. I mean, it's not limited to acquiring the certifications alone. You know, you need to be knowledgeable. You need to also network. Do you get that? Because there's a saying that it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Yeah. So it's really vital. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you won't know anything, because at the end of the day, if you don't know anything and you know people, then there might be issue along the line. So you have to know something and you have to also know people. That's the key. Do you understand? That's the key here. That's the key. So and challenges or some, you know, um in the in the professional journey. Yeah, maybe you fail an exam, you run all. It's part of the journey. Do you get that? You don't, you know, you shouldn't be devastated. You shouldn't feel depressed because, you know, maybe you fill the paper. You know, just get off your shoes, dust off your books too, then continue the journey. Do you get that? So thank you very much, honorable speakers, as they've given us a lot of insight, you know, on the theme for this discussion. So I know you guys will also have questions for them. You can drop them on the chat box. Okay. So someone asked the question earlier. I think that was during Peter's discussion with us, and the person question was that someone in audit, and if the person like what other professional course can the person sit for, like professional exam? So Peter, please can you enlighten us? Someone in the audit space, you know, which professional program can a person sit for? Thank you, as we expect your response.
Okay, so I think usually, right, if we want to do audits, ICAN kind of covers the audit profession, either ICAN or ACCA, depending on the region you want to practice. So if you want to practice in Nigeria, of course, ICAN is enough.
Okay.
If you want to do globally. Sorry, can you hear me?
Okay, something. So Afolabi, would be glad if you can answer the question. Thank you.
Okay, it's fine. I mean, but Peter I can hear it. I don't know if you're the only one, because I could hear you. You actually answered it.
Please, can anyone hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you.
I think he's having a network issue then.
Oh, box or unmute your mic if you can hear me, please. Thank you. Afolabi, we look forward to your response. No, you can respond here. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, fine. So I think, I mentioned something that Peter, was asking, was answering the question earlier. But in all, for someone interested in audit, both ICAN is fine generally if you are really interested in practicing in Nigeria. But if outside Nigeria, then the likes of SCCA, then probably would do justice. But if you plan to practice in the US, SCCA, if you plan to practice in the US, they have their own professional body because they use the gap unlike the IFI, which has some slight differences. So dependent on where you really want to practice. In Nigeria, ICAN is fine, for the professional body. Anything outside Nigeria, then you can consider ACCA, which is global. But if probably looking at the likes of the US economy, then they have theirs, which I think is called the CPA, similar to Canada, if I'm not mistaken. Then I think it's all dependent on, for audits, it's basically dependent on your jurisdiction.
I would like to add something to that, but I want to be sure you can hear me.
Yes, I can. You can go ahead, Peter.
So, apart from you, can you hear that person here? Because since Ahmed could not hear me.
We can hear you, Peter. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Alright, so ICAN majorly Nigeria, ACCA globally in the UK, and you want to do the US has their own CPA. But even with audits, there's something called system audits, which is a specific field under audit, and if you want to do system audits has their own qualification called CISA, CISA, that's Chartered Institute of System Auditors, right? But that's more, inclined or more specific, more specialized. It's just like when you apply system audit, it's more of IT audit. So if you want to do that, you can also consider that as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's a great addition. So thank you very much, Peter and Oriyomi, for doing justice to that question. So I believe that's all of our questions from our participants. Yeah. So all right. So should in case you have more questions, you guys can drop it on chat box. Yeah. So all right. So let's do something quickly. Let's do something real quick. I know we've connected with the participants. Guess what? I also want you guys to connect with Excel Academy, and we have a lot of benefits to get from Excel Academy. So I drop our socials link on the chat box. So do all to follow us on those pages and send screenshots to the link attached to claim the gift we have for you. So let's do that quickly. So and let me just introduce us to our programs at Excel Academy. So basically, Excel Academy, we have tuition provider. We offer online and video lectures for ICAN, CITN, CIBN, ACCA, ICSAN, name it, and we are known for excellence. All right. So basically, our ATS program is ongoing. ICAN lectures will start on Monday. CITN lectures are ongoing also. And we'll also commence, the lectures for ACCA June 2024 diets. To commence it before January runs out also. So you can reach out to us via the link I attached, to learn more about our programs, right? And basically, right, you can check out our socials, see testimonies from our students, our alumni, So we've been around for quite a while too, and we've been doing wonders. We've been doing wonders. These are some of our student testimonies. Yeah, these are some of our student testimonies. So you can also, your testimony is the next. Actually, yeah, the testimony is next. So there's this thing I used to tell my students, there's this thing I should tell my students basically at Exam Academy we have everything, necessary, all the study resources, that you need to pass your exam excellently. Yes, we have them. And all you just need to do on your part is just to follow our instructions. We've asked you to watch our video lectures, watch them. We've asked you to do assignments, do them. If you can follow all these things, yeah, you don't have any issues. I've had testimonies from students. And I've had my students say, "Oh, Mr. Ahmed, maybe they have issues with one or two courses. They can say, they would say, Mr. Ahmed, you tried though, you and your tutors tried though, but my busy schedule, and then if I get to work late, sometimes I'll be so tired to do the assignments and all, So, but basically, right, there's this thing about discipline, that I do tell my students. If you are disciplined enough, right, there's there's no limit to what you can achieve. Do you get? So it all takes discipline. Do you get? I've had, some of my previous students, same busy schedule that you have, they have it, but guess what? They passed the exam. So it's all about discipline. So these are, some of our student testimonies. Do you get that? Yeah. So, and yours is the next. Yes, is the next. So these are some of their results. So we've had high flyers, and we can also wait for you to be an high flyer too. We've got all it takes for you to pass the exam excellently. So I'm waiting for you guys screenshots. So send me the screenshots. Yeah, so thank you very much, Mr. Peter. I saw your comment, so thank you very much for honoring the invite. Thank you very much, Mr. Oriyomi. Thank you very much for honoring the invite. So I'm expecting the screenshot, right? I'm expecting, guys, send me the screenshots so you can claim the prizes. So hey guys, if you have questions, general questions as regards our programs, as regards the webinar, just feel free to drop them in the chat box. I'll be so glad to attend to them. So feel free to drop them on the chat box, please. Drop them on the chat box. I'm expecting.
So, Mr. Ahmed, are you still there?
Yeah,
actually, thank you for this session. I'm personally glad about it. Thank you very much. My question is actually directed to you, please. Concerning the ICAN program, skills level to be precise, looking at the PISA, the study path is too wide and broad. So my question is there any specific areas to be focused on in order to scale through this? Because most of all these topics, they are kind of, I don't know if there are some areas to be just to focus or concentrate on, not to avoid wasting much time reading relevant areas, relevant topics. I don't know if you understand my question.
Okay, so currently proceed. The network was broken earlier.
Okay. I said my question is, looking at the piece of public sector accounting and finance, the study pack is too broad, it's too wide. So is there any areas to be focused on in order to avoid wasting much time reading unnecessary or irrelevant aspects? That's number one. Number two, regarding to PM as well. PM is one of the, in fact, is the most challenging is the most challenging paper as far as skills is concerned to me. I don't know for others. So is there any areas to be focused on in this PM as well? So that's my question.
Right. Those are fantastic questions, right? So now to the first question. Yeah, knowing fully well that PSAF is a very it has I think the highest, or one of the highest, it's the course with one of the highest number of chapters. There's 7 chapters. And it's bulky, it's voluminous. Yes, it's bulky, it's voluminous. So now the question is, how do you navigate this? And there are some key areas you need to focus on. So the answer is yes, there are some key areas you need to focus on. And yes, how do you know the key areas? So in the class, we do give our students what we call the past question trend. So in this past question trend, you would see, the topics that are tested in each of those diets, and with this, you'll be able to figure out which topic has been consistently tested. You get, so with this, we'll provide this to you in the class. You get, so with this, you would, have an insight. Okay, that these topics will, these are, some very vital key areas that I need to study before I go to the exam. Do you get that? Imagine you going for PSAF exam and you didn't study chapter 10. Chapter 10, which talks about budget and budgetary control system. You get, or you didn't study the public finance part, which has 7 chapters, chapter 31 to 37. And these chapters here, 2 to 3 questions are coming out from that public finance part. So imagine you going to the exam without studying this part. You get, so these are the vital tips that you would be getting from the class. Do you get that? So you don't have any issues as regards this. All, like I said, and also all these necessary study resources that you need will be provided to you in the class. So PM seems to be a nightmare. Majority of people, before they enroll for my class, they'll say, Mr. Ahmed, see, I need to treat writing PM for 3 times. There's one time I told a student that I've been writing PM for 5 times. And guess what? The diet the student enrolled with me is the diet the person passed the exam. And guess what? I am the performance management tutor. Do you get that? So I can categorically tell you that, ICSAN Academy has all it takes for you to pass PM exam excellently. Yes, I can categorically tell you that. And guess what? We have, over 80 videos currently on PM, on our website, and I'll be dropping the link to our website on the tag box. So you can check it yourself. This one is not about, okay, maybe Mr. Ahmed is trying to cajole us. No, check it yourself. Do you get that? So we've got all it takes for you to pass these exams excellently. Do you get that? And one thing I would say, I'll use this popular slang of one of the parties, the popular parties in Nigeria, political parties. They'll say go and verify. Do you get that? So at the ICSAN Academy, for example, PM, right? We solve practice questions, we solve past questions. You see them on the website. So basically, right, I dropped the link to our website. So, the website here, our website contains the video lectures. that you'll be getting access to as soon as you enroll. So typically, right, we solve practice questions, we solve past questions, right? You'll see them there. You'll see them. For example, a topic like limiting factor, which is also called optimal product mix. We have over 10 videos on that chapter alone. Do you get that? So you can, from there you can, now, I believe you should now have an idea of, okay, what we have in stock for you. Do you get? So apparently we've got all it takes for you to pass this exam. And guess what? I'm also the case study tutor. Let me tell you a bit about my case study experience. From HS1 to professional level, I always pass all levels one, like at first attempt. But onto the professional level, I address in case study. But guess what now? I can categorically tell you that I'm an authority in case study. Because I've got all it takes for you to pass case study excellently. Likewise, other courses too. So one thing you need to pick from there is what? You need to, sometimes failure can be inevitable. But what you take out of this is what is vital. That is the lessons you will learn, or the lesson you learned out of this, is what's paramount here. So guess what? You can check out our website, sign up, look at, the courses there, and, feel free, let me know, give me feedback, on what you think. So, and, guess what? I have dropped the link, for you to reach out to us on WhatsApp, in case you have inquiries, about lectures, about ICAN, and the likes, or about ICSAN, about CITN, about CIBN. Feel free to reach out to us, and we look forward to your messages. So, may I know if there are other questions?
No questions. Thank you very much for the response, sir.
All right, you're welcome. So, thank you very much, guys. I'm so glad to host you all, and I believe we all learned one or two valuable insights that would help us advance our career from this webinar. So before today runs out, the recorded version of this webinar will be hosted on our YouTube channel, and to be sent to you all via mail. So and also we look forward to having you in our classes. Look forward to having you, so do have to reach out to us to enroll for your lectures. And thank you guys. Take care. I'm so glad, and thanks for the feedbacks too. Thank you, Modupe, for your for your responses. Thank you for the feedback, and thank you all. I'm so glad to have you all here. So thank you guys. Take care. Don't forget to reach out to us at ICSAN Academy, and do also refer your colleagues, to ICSAN Academy. Thank you all.